Gong Show. I'm all by myself today. My co-host Caitlin is down for the count. She's a little sick today, so I'm doing the show solo. But I'm chatting with Jocelyn. Is it Jocelyn or is it Jacelyn? I just feel terrible. And Kennedy and Riley. And so glad you guys dropped by because I was kind of lonely today. Now, just want to point out, Jonah, I'm not trying to diss you, okay, bro? Because I know you're here physically in the room holding the camera. But it's just nice to have some people in the chat talking with me. The question is, what bugs you? And most of the students that were, in the chat right now were in Florida last week with me. We went down there for a spring break trip with Campus Life, had a great week, saw God move, and it was really, really cool to be able to be together. And we had some hard times. We had some great times. And so maybe when I asked them what bugs them, well, it bugs them that they had to come back to Fort Wayne. But the weather is improving here. Am I right? It's a little bit warmer. Hopefully spring has sprung. Spring has sprung. Now, I was thinking about some of the latest things that we've been covering here today, and I know this probably doesn't affect anybody, but today, Margaret Thatcher, the former Prime Minister of Great Britain, passed away. Now, I remember Margaret Thatcher, and even when I was a kid, I remember her being the Prime Minister, and I was always fully aware that this was a woman who was using was first of all one of the first women, I think the only woman ever to be Prime Minister of the country of Great Britain. And I thought, how cool that she didn't let the stereotypes and some of the maybe the judgment of the day dictate how her future was going to go. In fact, I found it kind of funny and weird kind of at the same time that one of the audio loops from her past that they kept playing this morning on the radio was her saying that she didn't think she'd ever see a female leader as Prime Minister of Great Britain, and yet she became one. And I think there's a great story here. There's a great moral that you should never allow what people say to dictate your future. There's only one audience that should matter, and that's the God of the universe, the creator of all things, the one who made you and I. And he says, I will place whom I choose to place. I will put in people in leadership who I want to be in leadership. And if I've called you to do something, then I'm going to put you in that position, and I'm going to take care of all the details. As impossible as they might seem, as overwhelming as they might seem, you can do it. And so don't believe what the naysayers say. You're too short, do that, or you're too, Canadian to be here in the U.S., or whatever they might say to you. I don't know what they might say. They might say a variety of things. Don't believe them. Only listen to what God says, because that's the most important thing. Okay? Now, it is Monday, and I want to hear from you. What bugs you? You got to jump in the chat and tell me what bugs you. And I'm going to pick a couple of them, and I'm going to talk about them a little bit on the air. What bugs you? And I'll give away some stuff today because that's kind of the way we roll. I want to point also that this Wednesday night, very special Gong Show, we're going to be doing the Gong Show like regular Wednesday afternoon. And then Wednesday night at Pathway Community Church, we're going to be joining the middle schoolers for a really special, cool night, the Gong Show Live, an hour-long Gong Show Live straight there from Pathway Church. You're going to want to check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I'm taking your song requests for the rest of the day, playing the music you want to hear. So let me know right here in the chat, because that's how I figure out what you like. So stick around. Here's some Mike's Chair coming to you from the Gong Show, RemedyLive.com.
Broadcasting to live.